WrestleMania 40 is cursed. And while I'm sure it's still going to be great, and I'm sure Triple H is putting all the right spices in the soup, it was supposed to be a dream event, but it seems like none of it is possible now. The biggest disappointment is the fact that CM Punk will not be appearing. Unfortunately, he tore his tricep at the Royal Rumble, and on Raw he confirmed he's not gonna make it to WrestleMania. For WrestleMania 40, this is possibly the worst case scenario. And you know, it's always fascinating that even though we're seeing a man who unfortunately got injured and is showing his emotions on live television, there are wrestling fans who are celebrating this. Does it really hurt that much that he said some mean things to wrestlers you like? Whatever, you know, I'm a strong believer that karma will catch you in a form of hemorrhoids. Good luck, buddy! Yeehaw! Now, of course, welcome back to the channel. I'm Thegreatone. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so. Click that notification bell. And here's a secret if you haven't seen the channel before. Lately, you probably noticed a lot of people walking around with big Coco Jumbos, big schmeckles. And should we tell them, guys? Should we tell them? If you liked this video, all I'm gonna say is, would it hurt to have a few extra inches? So in this video, I want to talk about how WrestleMania 40 is not going to be, well, what it was supposed to be, and how we can make the best out of this bad situation. So WrestleMania 40 was supposed to be packed with dream matches and moments, possibly Brock Lesnar versus Gunther, The Rock versus Roman Reigns, depending on if you wanted to see that match, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, meaning CM Punk main events WrestleMania, meaning CM Punk possibly wins the World Heavyweight Championship. And people, none of that is happening. And while I'm sure the event is still going to be great, I mean, we're getting Cody versus Roman, we're getting Jay versus Jimmy, we're getting Bayley versus Io Sky, we're getting Rhea versus Becky Lynch, or Nia. LA Knight versus Logan Paul, but we're not getting WrestleMania 40 in its full potential. And I want to start with Brock Lesnar. So the reason why Brock Lesnar was not at the Royal Rumble is because of the allegations. And I didn't really talk about this. People are like, why are you not talking about Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon? You did talk about Tony Khan. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna say it for the last time. There is a difference between talking about Tony Khan acting like a goofball on Twitter and joking around. It's a whole different thing talking about serious allegations. 90% of my content is goofing around, joking around. Believe it or not, I didn't see a lot of comedy in it. Hey, welcome back to the channel. So Vince McMahon is shitting on heads apparently. I may talk about the situation once it's all confirmed, but you know, with Brock Lesnar's involvement, I don't have enough information, and it's way too serious for me to just speculate on shit like this, you know. Whatever the case may be, the rumored match was Gunther versus Brock Lesnar, and that is an absolute dream match. We got a tease a couple of years ago, and we wanted this match ever since. Again, we can't blame the WWE. I think it was the right move. Can we really disagree on that? I don't think so. What I'm trying to tell you is that unfortunately it did happen, and unfortunately that's why we are not getting this match. I don't even know what happened with Brock Lesnar. As far as I know, he allegedly asked for someone to send him a video of pissing their pants. Something along those lines. So it brings up a question, what's gonna happen with Gunther? And I do have a couple of possibilities. So I would love to see Gunther versus Sami Zayn, because I believe the story would be so good. Sami Zayn is the ultimate underdog, and even though I prefer him as a heel, always will, this is kinda the pinnacle of Sami's possible storylines. Overcoming the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion Gunther. Or not. You know, maybe he loses. I don't know. There's a lot of scenarios for Gunther that I have, and I'm gonna mention the last one at the end of this video, but another possible match is Andrade. So Andrade came back to the WWE. He's still fresh. I assume he's gonna be protected. Always been a Triple H guy, so I believe we could get this match. He's not necessarily a guy that, you know, needs to beat Gunther's streak. I just know the quality of the match would be possibly the match of the night. Another name is Braun Breaker. Now the issue is, yes, he's on the main roster now, but he's going to SmackDown. That's, I guess, what we learned on Raw. But what a way to debut Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. Possibly dethroning Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I'm not too familiar with Braun Breaker's work. I know he has a great spear. Haven't seen enough of his matches, but this man has a bright future. I can see what WWE see in this guy. I think we can all agree it almost seems like WWE are preparing him to be the next Roman Reigns. There's one more Gunther match I do have in mind, and we're gonna talk about that in a second, but Seth Rollins is injured, so that was the first set head back for WrestleMania. And while he's most likely going to work, he's gonna use one foot and jump around. No, he's not gonna do that. I think he's gonna be fine by WrestleMania because he's not relinquishing the championship. But the issue is, we're not gonna get the build in its full potential. While he can still do promo work, he's not gonna work at Elimination Chamber. And in general, Elimination Chamber is not looking very good because a lot of people are not gonna be on the show. I've heard Gunther cannot travel to Australia. Seth Rollins is not defending the championship. Roman Reigns is not defending the championship. CM Punk is not gonna be on the show anymore, which was supposed to be the main thing. CM Punk wins the match, faces Rollins at WrestleMania. So, not looking good. Road to WrestleMania is not looking very good. Kevin Owens, I believe, is injured too. It says Kevin Owens worked the match against Logan Paul in this past weekend at the Royal Rumble with a fractured foot. Let's just assume he's going to be fine by WrestleMania. CM Punk returning to WWE, main eventing WrestleMania, was supposed to be the biggest story of the year. Main events WrestleMania, possibly wins the match in an absolute dream match. Well, we're not getting that anymore. And here's something that I'm not a big fan of. So WWE on Raw teased a match between Seth Rollins and Cody, which would mean we would get Roman versus The Rock, which is great, but I believe that is basically wasting Cody's Royal Rumble victory. He already beat Seth Rollins. There's not that much more to tell. I love this championship. I think it looks better. I love the idea of the championship. I think Seth Rollins is doing a great job, but it's Roman Reigns was holding the championship, well, hostage, I guess. It's Roman Reigns with the record. Beating Rollins is a big deal. Beating Roman Reigns, his record, changing WWE basically, introducing us to a new era, is a bigger deal. And even in storyline, Cody would be stupid not to choose Roman Reigns. But CM Punk not being on this show is a major disappointment. Dream matches are being taken away left and right. So Seth Rollins is going to be at WrestleMania, but against who? And I do have a couple of scenarios, and I'm not sure which one I prefer. So first of all, Drew McIntyre. Obviously, Drew McIntyre attacked CM Punk and claimed he's going to live CM Punk's dream again, and he's doing such a great job. He's so good. He's so good on the microphone, in the ring. And I kept talking about how it's almost unfair how good Drew McIntyre is right now and how much stacked the roster is, because we can't really capitalize on his success, on his goodness. Now we can, and I would love to see Drew McIntyre winning the championship at WrestleMania. The issue is, we already seen it, and Drew McIntyre already lost. Not that it can't happen again, but I just don't see it as that big attraction match anymore. Now what WWE could do is Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn in a triple threat match. The match would be great, possibly the match of the night, both nights, and I wouldn't mind. Depends on whether Sami's facing Gunther or not. Let's do some fantasy booking. This is not gonna happen, but let's just do it for the sake of fun. LA Knight. I mean, LA Knight is so popular, and we still didn't get that major payoff. Most likely going to be the United States Championship, but come on now. He's so popular. CM Punk is no longer there. Why don't we put him in a match against Seth Rollins? I know why. He's on SmackDown. Doesn't mean things couldn't change. I honestly believe this would be the closest thing to CM Punk winning the championship at WrestleMania if you want to make fans happy. I think that is the best way to make people forget that CM Punk was supposed to be in that spot. Am I wrong right here? And also, the last scenario I have is Gunther versus Seth Rollins for both championships. They already teased this match, and I do like the sound of that. I think Gunther is such a great champion, such a great performer right now, both in kayfabe and not, and he can just ask for a title shot. There's almost no one left. He's beaten them all. Maybe he should come for the next big thing. It's gonna be really interesting to see how WWE are going to get out of the situation. So let me know in the comments below. How would you book WrestleMania 40? Who's facing Gunther? Who's facing Rollins? Is Gunther facing Rollins? What are we doing with this pay-per-view? So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you didn't. The Great One, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.